Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. We are near the end of October, not quite there yet, but I know for many people it is half term, and that is the reason why Andy is not with me today, and I am flying solo again with the social media updates. So I am doing this single-handedly, and there is lots and lots to talk through today. So please join me in the live chat. I have that open on a second screen and would love to see your comments, your thoughts, your feedback on all the changes that are happening in the world of social media. I know we've still got people joining, so I'm just keeping a small eye on that again on my second screen. But just to let you know, as you join, this session is being recorded. I will send it all out early afternoon today so that you don't have to frantically scribble notes and you can catch up and watch it again if you would like to. Or for those that didn't catch it live, welcome to the social media updates for October. My name is Luan Wise. If we haven't met before, and I think there's so many people that regularly attend these sessions, many of you have met me, but to let you know, if you haven't, I am a social media marketer. I've been doing this for marketing for 20 years. Social media hasn't existed for all of my career. I've worked in advertising agencies, I've worked client side, and I've been running my own consultancy business for 12 years now. And I have a wonderful mix of working directly with clients across different sectors, from higher education, manufacturing, professional services, to teaching and training as well. And I'm really pleased to share with you today, if those who've been watching it regularly and seen the image behind me, which is the front cover of my new book, it is now in existence. This is my preview copy. I'm hoping, and I'm saying the word hoping, that it will be released by Amazon at midnight tonight. I don't know whether that is going to happen. I will be up at midnight checking Amazon. The Kindle version will be ready, but I'm not 100% sure on the timings for the paperback and the audiobook as well. So please keep an eye on my social media accounts. I will email as soon as it's available, and I hope you will find the book of interest. It is a guide to creating a one-page social media marketing plan, stripping everything back to the fundamentals that you need as a social media marketer, from knowing your products, your services, your target audience, personas, your key messaging, your content pillars, through to lots of tips about how to create more engaging content. And most importantly, it is about how to achieve goals for your organization. Enough about the book. Welcome. I've been talking while people have been arriving. If you're not aware of the lighthouse.social website, this is what you have all signed up to in terms of email updates and these webinars. It is a website that is entirely curated from news from multiple sources. So every day I am checking news from all of the social media platforms, press rooms themselves, from other websites such as TechCrunch, Social Media Today, all of those sites, where I found a couple of years ago that no single site seemed to contain all the news just about the social media platforms. A lot of them are quite tech heavy as well. So I decided for my weekly email newsletter that is purely social media platform updates, that I would also pull all of that news into one place as well. So that's the lighthouse.social, and on there you can also find a jobs board. So if you are looking for a new position or hiring for a position, you can take a look at that, and there is a blog and a resource library as well. And I am working hard on some changes for next year. Let's dive into this month's social media updates. And as always, for those that watch, I'm going to start with some data and some trends. The go-to source, some of you will have heard this all the time, but I've put the link really big for you on this one today. Datareportal.com is absolutely my go-to resource. I know Andy's go-to resource as well, for all the numbers you need around social media, by platform, by country, by engagement benchmarks, by content type. This is where the data is, and it is updated quarterly. And we have the new update this week. So I'm going to take you through a couple of the slides from the October update. Not all of them. It is a 300 slide deck. We don't have time for that. I've just got 3 for you. And to start off with an overview of social media use, as at the end of September, where are we? social media use continues to grow. In fact, I've had to make some notes of these numbers so that I didn't forget them for you. We are seeing the fastest growth in users in 18 months now. It is up 2.5% on the last quarter and 9.6 new users per second of social media platforms across the world, which is amazing and significant. So we were just over 60% of the global population in July data. We are now at 61.4%. It continues to grow. The average number of social media platforms used each month is the same as July, is 6.7. This does include Facebook Messenger, it includes WhatsApp, YouTube, as well as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, formerly Twitter. I was actually expecting that number to increase, given that Threads launched in July. But in this new report, October 2023, I haven't seen any separate Threads data. So perhaps that's just not coming through yet into the analysis that Kepios does of this. And we may see that in the next update, which will be January 2024. Average daily time spent using social media has gone down by 2 minutes a day. Don't know if your use has gone down by 2 minutes a day, but overall it has, to now 2 hours 24 minutes. Social media use over time, as I said, has increased. It continues to grow, and this is really important. I met someone yesterday who said that their organisation still isn't using social media, that there were fears around being on the platform and what that would mean in terms of communication. So you may be really active users, more than the 2 hours 24 minutes a day, but there are still organisations and individuals that are not using this right now, and that is why it continues to grow. Facebook is still the world's most used social media platform. If you've seen these charts before, we don't really see much movement in here in terms of, the order of most used social media platforms. Facebook has now achieved over 3 billion monthly active users, and also time on Facebook is up this quarter, which, for anyone that's heard Facebook is dying, Facebook is not where young people are anymore, no one's joining, that is not the case. People are still joining Facebook and they are still actively using Facebook. YouTube remains in second position. I've always said, for me, this is about video content, the importance of video content across not just YouTube, long form and short form, but across all of the social media platforms. WhatsApp is high on here, and within the overall data set, if you go and have a look, datareportal.com, there are some stats around just how much WhatsApp is being used every day, the time being spent on these platforms. And for me, there is some data that I'm seeing coming through, and observations and conversations as well, around more private messaging on social media, more kind of behind the scenes and less commenting, posting in public. It's hard to really know that because we can't see the private messaging, but that is the observations and also some research insights that I'm seeing coming through. The frequently asked question on this is LinkedIn isn't on here. That is because LinkedIn, part of Microsoft, report their data differently to other social media platforms. They don't actually report on monthly active users. If they did, they are now at over 900 million users. Actually, that's just gone up this week. Active users, I think they would be kind of around the X Twitter category further down the bottom. Some more stats. You won't be surprised. So there's the datareportal.com stats to have a look at, and then a couple of other trends to highlight. You may not be surprised by this. I'm having lots of conversations around X and Twitter at the moment. Are you leaving? Are you using it less? If you're leaving, are you going somewhere else and replacing it? Or are you just, not? I'd love to know. Pop in the chat what you're doing in terms of X and Twitter. But overall, usage is declining. And this chart from Big Technology says, since Musk bought the company in October 2022, so it is 12 months now since we've had Mr. Musk in our social media marketing world, It's lost approximately 13% of its daily active users, and its rebrand accelerated the decline. I would say I'm taking away one positive from the last 12 months, and that is it has forced, encouraged, prompted us to review our use of social media platforms. All too often we continue doing what we've always done. There hasn't been reasons to question what platforms we're on and how we're using them. And I think the big changes with Twitter, now X, has really kind of forced us to do that and to have conversations internally around, is this the right platform for us? Should we be there? How is it going to change? And although usage is declining, people are still there. There's no doubt that it is still an active platform and many people are still there. So it is not all about big numbers and audiences. It is about where your audience are. Is it the right context? Is it the right format for your organization? Is it going to work for you? So there is the trend in terms of usage. That isn't always a bad thing. I think what is important that we take away the opportunity to review what we're doing and how we're doing it. Some people are leaving Twitter, waiting for a blue sky code. That is a platform some people are looking to. Paula, I still dabble mainly for social listening via my Twitter lists. Absolutely. It is still a place where if you want to know what's going on in the world, what people are thinking about, programs, the news, what's happening on Strictly, Twitter is where those real-time conversations are. So for me, there is still some value in it at the moment. It is just absolutely something to watch and consider. And then I wanted to highlight some research from Snapchat. Andy and I don't talk about Snapchat very often. It's not so prevalently used by organizations, but the trends for Snapchat use by social media users is increasing. They have now reached over 400 million daily active users. That is quite significant. They have shared some insights into their audience, and within the datareportal.com set is a chart around overlaps and people that use, for example, Facebook, how many of them also use TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. And what we have seen in that data set is that very often each platform doesn't have a significant unique audience. People are using more than one social media platform, 6.7 according to the data on average. But this insight from Snapchat is showing that actually they do have a really unique audience, particularly amongst younger age groups, that their younger age groups are only using Snapchat, or a very small percentage are using TikTok or another platform. I'd love to know, is anyone using Snapchat personally for business, considering it? It's one to watch, I think. It's still there, and you know the data is coming through on it. Let's dive in platform by platform, some feature changes. Facebook are gearing up, as are the other social media platforms. Dare I say it, holiday season. Black Friday is coming. In the States, Thanksgiving is coming. I don't know how many days until Christmas, but we're in Q4. It is on our way to the end of the year. Love to know how you're feeling about that. So the platforms are adding some features to help organizations push their products and services. And that includes new ad options for Facebook Reels. We know that Reels are where people are at, people are watching them, the platforms are pushing them. And what we're seeing on Facebook Reels is collection ads. They've been on Instagram for a while, these kind of swipe carousel kind of style ads. They are available. So we need to be thinking video content if you are advertising. Broadcast channels. This was a topic a couple of months ago. I think if you're a user, you will have seen suddenly loads of notifications around join my broadcast channel. This is the one-to-many option within, it's been within Instagram. You may see some, kind of, it's for town hall conversations. Stephen Bartlett doing it, Zuckerberg's doing it. Some people are doing it with their communities as well, where they can literally broadcast a message, but it's not really interactive yet. Facebook are rolling that out to Facebook and also Messenger as well. And Facebook, are we going to see ad-free subscriptions? One of the biggest trends, conversations, news stories this year has been around paying to play a little bit more on social media, partly through X and Elon Musk and what his propositions are around Twitter Blue and premium accounts, but Facebook are now also talking about this. They launched Meta Verified with paid for, which allowed you to have the blue tick and the feature of getting additional support. I don't know if anyone has experienced that or paid for that. But actually, if you start reading behind the scenes of some of these articles where the headlines are around paying to play and subscriptions, part of this is down to data privacy rules. So the European Union data privacy rules are posing a threat to some of these business models of the social media platforms because they are going to guide, restrict the use of personalized ads to their users, which means they won't be able to make so much money through advertising, which has always kept it free for us as users, particularly on the Facebook platform. So if they need to consider how to earn revenue and keep these things going, that I believe is why they are looking towards subscriptions in terms of verified, but also an option to go ad-free. Put in the chat if you would be prepared to pay to have ad-free social media. The other topic, going to talk about this, generative AI features for advertisers. AI, have we stopped talking about ChatGPT this year? That is not the only AI tool available, but these features are now coming to advertising on Facebook, the other platforms as well. For Facebook, this includes being able to generate background images, image expansion tool for fitting the aspect ratio and text variations as well. So if you are advertising, you will now have these tools and features and another opportunity for you. So on the topic of AI, you may have seen that Andy and I will be doing a LinkedIn Live on this topic next week when Andy is back. Next Thursday, the 2nd of November at 11 a.m, we will be live on LinkedIn talking specifically about how AI is changing social media marketing. I've just put the link in the chat. If you're not registered for that on LinkedIn yet, click the link, click accept, and then next week when we go live, you will get a notification and you can watch us and there will be a live chat. Instagram. Few things happening with Instagram. They regularly are doing updates, and from what I see that these are popular updates as well. So nice little features focused on increasing engagement, increased creativity, and this latest one around being able to create custom stickers from your own images. So from your own photo library on your phone, you could create a sticker by cutting something out. Perhaps you've got pictures of pets or something else that you want to use, and you could then use them on your Instagram stories. Polls in comment streams on feed posts and reels. This is a new feature. We haven't seen this before on Instagram. We have seen it on Facebook. We've seen it on LinkedIn. Actually, it got a bit overwhelming on LinkedIn and got reduced in terms of priority. Interesting to see it in the comment streams. I love a comment stream and spending my time in there. Have you used these yet? Do you think you'll use these? Would you engage with them? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Quick engagements by people voting on something rather than perhaps having to think of a sentence or a response to get involved in the comments. I think it'd be a nice feature. I'd be interested to see how it gets used. Stories, again, now being able to share stories with multiple group lists at once. So for a while, you've been able to kind of create group lists within Instagram for sharing content, perhaps just to your close friends. You have to kind of pre-prepare these. But now Instagram are adding multiple group lists, so you could actually share in different ones for different reasons. I'm not sure how valuable this is. This was actually, for those of you that remember Google Plus, one of those features that I particularly liked around being able to kind of group people and post updates to specific groups. Marketing segmentation at its best. Is it relevant? Are you creating content for one audience or multiple audiences? I like the flexibility that Instagram is adding these features in. It needs a bit of thinking about and part of your planning and preparation as well. Just caught Gemma's very excited about polls in comments. Carly, too much to do on Instagram. There is more and more to do all the time, isn't there? That's the thing about working in social media. I don't think we ever remove things from our lists. There's always more. Or is there more? And is it about switching things out and testing things and trialing new things to see if they perform better than what we've always done? Threads. So let me just check. Threads. So it's now 3 months since Threads launched. Mark Zuckerberg, I picked this up off his Facebook just this morning. Thing about doing social media update presentations, you've got to check the news on the day to see if there's anything else. And he posted, I want to give a quick update on Threads. We're 3 months in now, and he's very happy. There are just under 100 million monthly active users at this point. And we're getting to the point where we're going to be focusing on growing the community further. From what we can tell, people love it. He's thought for a long time that there should be a billion-person public conversations app that's more positive. And he thinks that if we keep at this for a few more years, then we have a good chance of achieving our vision there. Did you sign up for Threads? Are you still using Threads? Are you considering going there? They are adding more features. They're clearly working on it. They're clearly confident in it being able to achieve something. A few more years is a long time in the world of social media. So it's interesting that this is part of Zuck's plan. He's not mentioned the metaverse in this, which was his big plan last year, but he's obviously focusing on this. An interesting side point, though, from Adam Mazuri, the head of Instagram, and if you're not following him on Instagram, please do. He does an Ask Me Anything every week. He answers questions and he tells us what's happening. And what he's telling us as well is that news is on Threads. People can share news, people can follow accounts that share news, and they're not going to get in the way of that. But also, they're not going to amplify news on the platform. They think it would be risky given the stage that they're at. And I think this is why people are still on Twitter. Twitter is very much that news platform, that opinion platform. And from the very beginning, 3 months ago, Threads have said that that is not their aim to go down that route. Data reportal earlier in the year, people are increasingly using social media platforms for search and for news. So the fact that Instagram with Threads are not focusing on news is quite an important consideration for our choice of platforms and how we ourselves want to find and consume news. So I think this is quite an important flag. In terms of features, what's happening on Threads? Well, you can now edit within 5 minutes. You'll always find a typo once you've pressed post. That has always been a criticism of Twitter, that you couldn't edit. That is now on Threads. Voice threads. What do you think of voice notes? Being able to have voice notes on Threads is a new addition. Put in the chat how you feel about voice notes. Would you sit and scroll through Threads listening to voice notes? Would you use voice notes? A great accessibility feature, of course, but for me, not as quick as reading texts. One of the comments about Threads when it first launched was it was so easy to set up a Threads account through your existing Instagram. It was literally one click. You know, your photo got pulled through, your bio got pulled through. You could follow who you were already following, but then people realized that actually they couldn't delete their Threads account. Currently, you can archive your Threads account without impacting your Instagram account. separate account deletion. So stay on Instagram, but don't be on Threads. Some separation is apparently going to be available by December. Rachel's put, voice threads are okay, but there's something awkward about it. Good for accessibility or quickly updating on the go. Not sure users would listen to them. Dan's looking for some tips on making reels. Dan, if you send me a private message with your email, I will ping you some resources on reels. I've got some links to resources straight from Instagram that might be helpful. And have you seen how much they are pushing threads on Facebook and on Instagram as well? As I'm scrolling through my newsfeed, I am seeing prompts just like this. This is what's happening on Threads. Go and follow these people on Threads. So it's always been a challenge, hasn't it, around kind of cross-promoting your accounts on other platforms. We used to see on Twitter, go and follow me on Facebook, and LinkedIn, go and follow me here. And there was always kind of, sometimes you need to do that if you're trying to grow your account, but then there was challenges of people just not updating their posts and being the same on every platform. I think this is really interesting that within the Meta family of apps, that they are really using their existing audiences, Facebook, Instagram, where their audiences currently are, to try and get them onto Threads. So don't know how you feel about that, but they are pushing it. Let's move on to our X, formerly Twitter. They are making changes, continue to make changes. And a lot of these are around a premium account and paying for that premium account. A feature here is around an expanded bio on your profile. New elements are coming to communities. They are really pushing communities. And I think that is going to be the buzzword of 2024, is building communities and supporting those. And also referencing your sources in community notes. So to take a step back to the profile bios, if you have not reviewed your bio on your social media accounts for a while, please take an action after today to go and check it. Do you know what it says? Does it let people know what your account is about? Does it manage the expectations? Is it up to date? On LinkedIn, is it more than your default job title at company name? A bio is really important. If people are searching, it will help you get found. If they find you, they will know what your account is about and want to follow and start engaging with you. So it is a really important asset on your social media profile. So I think having a longer bio would be nice. All these features that you're going to have to pay for if you want to continue. And then just to pick up on this source reference, this is linked with news being an increasingly important part of the world of social media. But as we know, there are many world events right now, and checking the credibility of news sources is absolutely critical. So a social media platform adding in information and opportunity to add a note with context that you believe should be shown with a post to keep others informed, to support the credibility of information that is being shared and information that is appearing in your newsfeed, has always been a challenge with social media, misinformation, disinformation. So adding this feature, I think, is a really important one. Verified accounts. Is anyone using X and coming up with notifications of, to do this, you need to be verified. To action this, you need to be verified. Or even the option now to set who can reply to your posts, tweets. Do you want that to be everyone? Do you want it to be verified accounts only, from accounts you follow, or only accounts that you mention? It is a useful control, particularly on a platform that is about sharing opinions and insights. Do you want only verified accounts to be able to reply to your posts or not? And then the other premium feature, going back to the voice notes on Threads, is a premium feature to add in audio and video calls to X. Is this part of their move to become that everything app that they keep talking about? Do we want to be able to do calls through a social media platform? do people like making calls anymore? I think there's been a bit of a shift. So it's a premium feature. They're adding in features to their pricing, which is more than is being added to the Meta verified pricing option. It's all shifting that way. Again, how they monetize, restrictions on EU data, guidelines, regulations. They need to make money to keep these platforms going. This is the shift. For those that know me and my own branding of my consultancy business, will I pay for it? Will I pay to have a pink Twitter icon on my phone? I'm not sure, but this is quite a significant move from X to have a partnership with Paris Hilton, a huge influencer in the world of social media, one to watch. If you have a premium account, you can get a pink X app on your phone. And then not just the subscription model that Elon Musk has been talking about for a long time, but now tiering it as well. So 2 new tier options are coming soon. One of them, lower cost with all the features, but no reduction in ads. The other one, more expensive, but with no ads. So ad-free options, premium subscriptions, looking at different features and benefits. I think this is really going to be a heavy consideration, feature, conversation that we have going into 2024. LinkedIn. A few more changes. How are we doing? Just gone 11:30, not too many more. So LinkedIn have announced in the past couple of days 985 million members and record levels of engagement. They continue to grow as well. And from conversations that I've been having, I think there's sometimes been a bit of a recent shift to using LinkedIn as a replacement for Twitter. People are telling me that they're more active there, finding it more valuable, having more conversations. So people are shifting. Personally, LinkedIn was my #1 social media platform that I used, probably where I spend most of my time. I know Andy spends a lot of his time there as well. And again, they are also making changes to their premium levels, so their subscriptions. There has already been a few benefits of having a premium level subscription to LinkedIn for a while, in terms of search criteria, in-mail credits, access to LinkedIn Learning, being able to see who's viewed your profile. But now we're seeing some additional features in terms of a call to action button on our profile. If you've spotted this, you can now add, there's a drop-down list from book an appointment to visit my website. That link sits at the top of someone's profile. But now whenever you're doing anything around LinkedIn, whether you're commenting, posting, activity, it's not just your photo and your headline that gets shown, it is also that call to action button as well. So they are, adding those calls to action in for people. So if you have got a premium account and you haven't added that button in yet, there's another action for after this session. Okay, in the chat, please. Collaborative articles. Are you contributing to collaborative articles? Have you got a top voice badge yet for contributing to collaborative articles? These have been around for a few months now. You may have seen them pop up in your LinkedIn newsfeed. You may have been invited to contribute to the articles. They are now awarding top voice badges to people that consistently contribute to collaborative articles. And by that, they are starting an article via the use of AI. And then if you are invited to contribute or you find one, you can kind of add a comment to different paragraphs or sections of the overall article. If you are doing that consistently, you will be awarded a badge. I've seen many people announce that they are getting the badges, which is great. Those badges are reviewed every 60 days. So this is about consistency. This isn't about going away, hammering away at loads of articles to get a badge on your profile. You have to keep doing it. Lindsay's not used them yet. You definitely use them if you wrote articles. This isn't about you writing articles. This is LinkedIn start off those articles and then invite people to contribute and comment. You've been invited a few times, but not seen anything in it. I'll share my experiences. I contributed to a fair number when they were first launched, and I had access, early access to it. Did I see any difference in my stats in terms of viewers, engagement? No, I didn't. I will share with you, I had concerns around the original article that was generated through AI, and not necessarily from other people commenting on them, but they didn't have a credibility check. That comment earlier about those community notes and credibility checks of lots of people can contribute to these articles, but we don't know anything about them until we look through to their profiles, how credible they are things correct, are they being fact checked? And one I saw in particular was around advertising and competitions. And I know, because I double checked, that the information in the AI generated article wasn't correct about Facebook's kind of promotion guidelines and mechanics of entry to competition. So I like the idea of them. I like the idea of a community all contributing their comments to something. I'm seeing a lot in my feed around this person's commented on this article, you're invited to support this article. I'd love to know if anyone is reading the collab articles and finding them valuable. Maybe we'll pick up on this next month. You will be seeing it in your newsfeed and your notifications, but let's see how they move forward. But LinkedIn are certainly pushing them. Articles on LinkedIn. So this isn't your general post that people scroll through. This is when you create a specific article on LinkedIn, which are useful. They do get lower numbers in terms of your view stats. They could be higher quality and more in-depth content, but they will get lower numbers because it only counts when someone clicks through to the article. A post gets a view when someone scrolls past. An article, people have to click through. I've only really ever personally used articles or advocated use of articles when there's a blog that's been written elsewhere and I can cut and paste it onto LinkedIn and then kind of add a disclaimer at the bottom saying this first appeared on, so that I'm almost using it as a repurposing tool rather than an initial primary publishing platform. But again, one of the big areas for this year, really important, is accessibility, ensuring that our content is available for all, whether they should have a visual, hearing, or other disability. And now within articles on LinkedIn, there is the opportunity to ensure that your content is more accessible, that there is kind of prompts to make sure that it's less cluttered with some spacing, that your articles have alt text on them. Perhaps there's some speech highlights around phonetic use of words rather than just the words as they appear on the page, syllable splitting, text to speech as well. So if you are using articles, look for these accessibility features. And with any post that you're doing on social media, consider accessibility, font contrasts, colors on your images, alt text, video captions. And back to AI. LinkedIn are introducing AI elements to their recruiter tool. So if you are an HR user promoting jobs, there are now AI support tools to help you write those job descriptions, to create those job ads, and also introducing AI elements to LinkedIn Learning. So LinkedIn Learning is a huge library of online learning courses. If you're not aware, that is a part of LinkedIn that I work with. I have created, I think I've got 7 courses in the library and in the archive around social media and content marketing. LinkedIn Learning is available as a standalone subscription or as part of your premium LinkedIn account. And AI has been added to that so that you can almost have a chatbot coaching conversation around what courses you're looking for and any questions that you have on the courses that you're taking. There's been quite a lot of work behind the scenes to kind of make that work and make that happen. So have a look at LinkedIn Learning courses. They are on-demand courses. Take a free trial for 30 days and have a look around. Is any of LinkedIn Learning free to access? with a free trial, if you haven't got a premium account, occasionally, if you follow the LinkedIn Learning blog, they will release some courses for free for a limited period of time. So I think at the moment there may be some AI courses that are free. Sometimes, you know, around the new year, they may do a promotion on some courses. But for a premium subscription, which I think is about £35–40 at the moment a month, you would get access to everything in the library. So if anyone's a fan of online learning courses, I think £30–40 to have access to everything is good value. Looking at the chat, is there any training for TikTok ads out there that people find useful? Is there anything you're using? But TikTok have an academy. TikTok have added some new creator tools. Coming on to TikTok in a second. Have a look at their own platform, their own TikTok Ads Academy, which is free to watch as well. So on to TikTok. Twitter, X have got Paris Hilton. TikTok have got a partnership with Disney. I know some of you that I recognize the names watching today are Disney fans. So have a look at, in honor of Disney's 100th anniversary, they are launching a partnership. We are also seeing, I said the holiday season is coming before Christmas. We do, of course, have Halloween. TikTok are adding in some effects. I expect we'll see some more Instagram stickers coming through. It's next week. So are you ready for Halloween? Are you doing anything for Halloween? Have a look at the effects in TikTok. Last week, TikTok announced what they're calling out of phone ad options. And as I guess, having worked in marketing for over 20 years, my career did start before smartphones and before social media. So I love the opportunity to integrate online and social media with some more traditional marketing tactics and platforms as well. And there's three areas to this, they're out of phone advertising options. One is billboards, 48 sheet posters, enabling advertisers to take their TikTok campaigns onto large format posters. I'm guessing you need a huge amount of budget for doing this and a contact with TikTok. But if you do have large marketing budgets, that's cool. In the cinema as well, replicating the TikTok experience on cinema screens. Very early in my career in ad agencies, we used to produce 35mm slides of our campaigns and send them out to local cinemas for advertising before films. So I think integrating TikTok into a cinema experience is going to be one to watch. And then other screens as well. So is this in bars, restaurants, airports, petrol stations, retail stores, anywhere where there are moving screens, we may start seeing TikTok type content on there. And for the question about TikTok ads, there is now a creative assistant to help you guide through the process. So if you are advertising on the social media platforms, the tools are there to self-serve and you can walk through, but you need to do your ad planning first. Also on TikTok, for those that are using other tools, you can now directly post from Adobe apps, CapCut, Twitch, and more. I know there's many fans of CapCut as a tool for TikTok. What are they doing? They're talking about ad-free subscription offerings coming soon. Pick your plan. Choose whether you will see ads, keep on a free account, or whether for $4.99 a month, you will enjoy an ad-free experience. They are also talking about 15-minute videos. We saw this a few months ago with some longer format videos. And again, I think Paris Hilton did a long TikTok with Hilton Hotels as an experiment. And there was case studies around that. Do we want longer form content? Will we watch 15-minute videos on TikTok? Is that going to be part of our scroll? We'll have to wait and see. All of these platforms are continually innovating, always adding new features. The purpose of this monthly update session is for us to pull all the information together for you so you can absorb it in an hour and decide what features are right for you. Don't try and do them all. Don't try and do them all at once. Got one more for you. Amazon. We have mentioned Amazon a few months ago in terms of what else could be happening. And they are adding in a social shopping feature so that you can ask your friends for product feedback. So you may find something on Amazon and then want to use a social feature to ask your friend, oh, have you seen this? Have you got this? What do you think? And get support. Recommendations, referrals, testimonials. Will Amazon move more into social media next year? Does this support social media as a search tool, private messaging? One to watch. Oh, this is a lot to do by yourself. I look forward to welcoming Andy back next month. But in summary, what have we seen this month? We are seeing generative AI features. Andy and I are specifically talking about that next week. If you joined late, let me just pop that link into the comments for you. It's next Thursday. We are talking about AI and social media marketing. We are seeing ad-free options coming through. That is how the platforms are going to be monetizing. Do we want that? What does that mean to us if we are an advertiser on social media platforms? Do we need to consider that that could impact our business? Accessibility features. Platforms continue to add those options. We must continue to use them. Pay into play. Do we need to subscribe to these platforms? Do we need to have these premium offers with the premium features? And end of October, it's time to get ready for the holiday season. If this is important for your business, for your audience, campaigns you want to piggyback on, if you're not ready, it is time to think about that as well. Andy and I will be back together for the final social media updates for 2023 on the 30th of November. I've just put the link for that in the chat. A huge thank you to everyone that is watching today, and for those of you that keep coming back and watching these sessions and then talking about it on social media as well. I'm not going to run through all of the chat because I'll be silent while I'm looking at it. I will look at it afterwards. If there's any questions in there, I will come back. I will post about it. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day.